Are you successful in most areas of your life, yet struggling to become a successful trader? You're not alone. It's actually quite common for people who are successful in other areas of life to really struggle with trading. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about why that is and what you can do about it. I'm Alex Dixon, and welcome to Trader Mind School, where we talk about the psychology of trading and ways of thinking to enhance your trading experience. It seems like lots of people who are attracted to trading are successful in other areas of their lives, whether it's career or personal relationships. But when they get to trading, they suffer a great deal of financial and emotional distress, and sometimes even get completely wiped out. But why do so many people who are successful in their lives have so much trouble trading? For starters, these people have the ability to make some sort of an impact on their environment and those around them. They can influence either their surroundings and or the people around them to achieve the outcome they desire. Perhaps they can motivate or manage a group of people or surround themselves with the proper equipment to perform what they seek. But they at least have some degree of influence to either those or their environment around them, which they can inch closer and closer towards their desired goal. The market is so large that most people do not have any impact on price movement as individuals. Like the surfer has no impact on the wave. This is very different than a business person with 200 people working for them. How about a successful lawyer whose career is built on persuasion? Individuals also have an influence on their family and friends. The market doesn't care what you think should happen. It doesn't care how accomplished you are. It doesn't care how much studying you've done. It doesn't care how much time you've put into developing an AI robot. The market is going to do what it's going to do, and you get to adjust you. So you can only influence yourself. Let's put this into perspective by looking at oil prices. I could take all of the money I have and go down to my local gas station down the street and buy all the gasoline I can. Will I have an effect on price? It is actually likely that I will. The gas station may even run out of gas and have to buy more. But what about the gas prices in my zip code? Rather than one gas station, there's maybe 5, though less of an impact. What about in my town? I live in Fort Lauderdale, which is generally considered a large town, small city. I have never counted the number of gas stations in Fort Lauderdale. But it is the yachting capital of the world, and those yachts use a lot of fuel. There are at least 4 marine gas stations that I know of. There is an international airport with over 700 flights a day, and a seaport where I personally had seen 9 cruise ships in port at once. So would me taking all the money I had and buying gas affect the price of gas in Fort Lauderdale? Unlikely. One cruise ship alone can carry as much as 2 million gallons of fuel. If I can't even affect the price of petroleum in my own town, imagine what little effect I'll have on my state, or my country, or worldwide. Bottom line is that most individual traders have such little effect on what goes on in the market that it can be safely said that they cannot influence the market, and they must influence themselves. Oil is not even the most traded instrument at 1 billion barrels a day. And let's say it's $100 a barrel, that's $100 billion. The instrument that trades with the largest volume of wealth exchange is the euro dollar, at 6 times that number of 600 billion every day. That's about the annual GDP of Argentina every day. So for folks who are used to having an influence on what's going on around them, it's quite different to switch to something where they have virtually no impact. They must learn how to think differently. If you are the owner of a medium to large business with, say, 200 employees that you have built your whole adult life, you're used to being able to want to accomplish a project and getting it done. Or at least far enough along where you can make the call if you don't want to do this project anymore. But there are literally hundreds of people collaborating with you. How about a software engineer? They have to get everything so precise, and when they do, it turns out perfect. That program they design has been bent and tweaked to perfection to literally accomplish exactly what they set out to accomplish. But in trading, you can bend and tweak all you want, you're still not likely to have much, if any, influence on price movement. So you can have this amazing strategy or an amazing AI robot, and the market can still give it losing trades over and over again. Well, the influencing on people is only mostly true. There was a situation back in 2021 where somebody had enough influence on enough people that they all went out and bought a small cap stock, GameStop. Some of you might remember this. And that caused price to go up, which caused institutions to dump their short positions, which caused price to rise very rapidly. Of course, it takes a smaller group of people and less capital to change the price of a small cap stock than something like the euro dollar. Also, people of high power and influence, such as a leader of a nation or a well-known multi-billionaire, can reach an audience of enough people that prices may fluctuate. But for most people, they get to adjust themselves to what the market is doing and offering, rather than expecting to have an influence on price movement. Developing a trader mind where anything can happen and you set the probabilities up in your favor is not the way you accomplish most things, and therefore it's not the way most people think. If I want to learn a particular dance move and go to class to learn how to perform that move, I will know how to do that dance move. I can also be fairly certain that I can do that dance move over and over again once I've learned. On a trade-by-trade basis, this simply is just not the case. There are too many variables to take into consideration. The only thing you can really be certain of is that anything can happen. In this arena of certain uncertainty, you can simply set yourself up with the odds in your favor to take advantage of what the market is offering, and over a series of trades, be consistent. Much like when you flip a coin, you don't know if it's going to land heads or tails. But in a large number of flips, the coin will approximately land heads 50% of the time. Successful trader minds are not about influence. They're not about being right or wrong, and they're certainly not about knowing what's going to happen. Traders know that anything can happen, and if they have a strategy set up with the odds in their favor, they can be successful. I hope this information was beneficial to you, and please leave a like and a comment to help this content reach more traders, and I will see you in the next video.